Hi. I'm really hoping I'm filming on the right settings. So, yesterday was pretty overwhelming day for me because of a lot of socialization and a lot of people and a lot of everything. Very overwhelming day. So, and I had a little breakdown, as one does, sometimes. I have breakdowns twice a month, I guess. I mean, this month I had twice a month. Partly, like, the main reason my breakouts, I just said breakout and I think of like acne, not the actual it's breakdown. Okay, yeah. So yesterday I had a little breakdown and I was crying and watching Time Traveler's Wife until 1 in the morning, and I slept until 9 in the morning, which is very unusual for me because I like waking up early, like 7, 8, a little yoga or Pilates or something like that. And I woke up and I had no mood and I played sad songs because that is always makes me feel better for being sad, because it's literally sad songs. A few weeks ago, I was in a situation where I have had to be with people for a few days, like constantly, like almost all the day. And I just, as every human being, I want other people to like me. I don't know why. I do know why. I do know why. It's because of this evolution thing. We need other people to like us to survive, because if we don't, then we won't have tribe and something like that. I don't know. I've read something like this. Maybe it's not true. Maybe I'm just, maybe I was misinformed, but it does make perfect sense to me. That's why I feel this need for other people to like me, to constantly like reassure me and stuff like that. That's why I feel that. I felt so drained after those few days where I was constantly around people. I felt so drained. No, actually, I felt so drained after one day. I guess, yeah. After one day, I was just pretending that I don't know, I had energy, or like, oh, this joke is funny, or yeah, I totally get it. I totally want to go out after this. I totally want, I was just pretending to be some other person, which I'm not. And after that, I decided that no more. I'm not gonna do it no more, I'm not gonna do it. And yesterday, I didn't do it. I've been with a lot of people yesterday because yesterday was, again, overwhelming, very big celebration kind of thingy. And I had to be with a lot of people because I always try to entertain someone in the conversation. Like, if we have a conversation, we have like awkward silence or something like that, I just always need to entertain. I always feel like I need to be, when I in a group of people, I have to talk to people. I always have to, keep the conversation. It's always have to be interesting. If I see other person just, yawn or tilt their head or like show any sign of boredom, I'm like, okay, that's my personal mission in life, to make this person entertained, happy, and so on and so forth, even though I might not even like those people, I mean, I do in theory like those people, but I do not know them. And just because of this a proximity thing, just because we see each other very often, we have to see each other very often, I'm like, okay, we could be friends, but then like having those surface conversations and like jokes, and doesn't really make people friends, But anyway, so I always felt like I had to entertain someone, I had to always tell a joke and something like that. And also, if someone would like take the conversation a little too serious and they would, ask me deep questions, I would just joke or like give sarcastic remark, because I don't feel comfortable sharing any of my personal things with those people. In fact, I don't feel comfortable sharing any personal things with anyone, I feel like there's a part of my life that is just for me, and I like that part of my life to be huge. I just like that part to be like I don't know. I don't tell people 50% of my life, even my friends. I I just don't. I don't know why. I feel like it's just my business, you know? And yesterday, we all went to, well, by we, I meant I thought me and my friend are going to dinner because we were hungry. But then a few people with us came. And I'm like, okay, those people are cool. You know, I like them. I have energy to just have that conversation with them. I'm like, okay, 5 people, that's nice. And then it turns out there were like 20 people. I have introverted tendencies, but many people do not. Many people are extroverts. So they like, oh, we're going to dinner. Do you want to go to dinner? Or take your, friend, take your, and everyone I already saw that day before on that big celebration thingy are again back. And I was so tired and so exhausted from early in the day with all of them. Like there were probably like 300 people in one room, and I was one of those people that were center of attention, and I don't like being center of attention, I mean, I do, but not in that situation, not in that case, not when I don't really know 280 people in that room, So we got the biggest table in that cafe or restaurant, I don't know what it was, and me and my friend, we just ordered ahead because we were so hungry. So when everyone got, they just ordered their food, but we already like ate it or halfway ate it, and I ate it, and I was near the bookshelf. Like, this is the table, this is the bookshelf here, and I sat here because I already ate. I'm full. I'm okay, I got my glass of water in the corner of the table. Okay. Yeah. And I was just browsing through some books. There were pretty interesting books, about chess, about America, Europe, history, something like that. And I was just browsing through. I was reading William Shakespeare. I was reading chess strategies, and they all have been talking. And I wore that day, like yesterday, I wore a hoodie with a very big, like, hoodie. But how do you call this thing? I don't know. I've never actually... Okay, I wore a hoodie with this, like, it was huge. If I would put it on, it would cover my eyes like this. And I just sat in a corner reading, and they all just talked. And honestly, I didn't care. That I didn't have the energy to entertain anyone. I didn't have the energy to try and spark up a conversation with someone. I didn't have the energy to listen to what they were saying. A few people did talk to me a few times, and I'm like, yeah, funny. Yeah, do you remember that? Do you remember? And I'm like, okay, I'm off. And I was just reading, and then we all split the bill. Like, you can pay for the things that you ordered, and we all did that, and I already did, and there was a queue of people trying to pay for what they ordered, and I just while I was waiting for all of them to finish, because we had to all leave together, like I had to wait for my friends, and I just sat, and I'm like, oh, that's a lot of people. I said it to myself, and a person I know said, is there something wrong? Is it something, something we did or something? What's up? And I'm like, I just don't have the energy to entertain anyone. I just told her the truth. I'm like, I have no energy to act as though I'm extrovert, or like act as though, oh yeah, that's a very interesting topic of conversation. The only, like, when I was still eating, the topic of conversation was, if a guy sends white heart, is it okay? Or they were talking about like heart emojis, and I'm like, not my topic. I don't no, thank you. That's no, and that's fine. That's okay. That's totally fine. Not my topic. If I were to talk about something, I could talk about, I don't know, myriad of things that they're not interested in. They would be like, not my topic. So it's fine. I just don't really care about that. Okay, I'm telling you my whole evening That's fine. And then we got in the car and we drove to the supermarket, and me and my best friend, because I wouldn't call all of them friends. Like, the only reason I stayed, you could ask yourself, why didn't you leave? If you didn't want to spark up the conversation, why did you just sit in corner and read? I just stayed for my friend. Like, we came together, and I didn't want to leave her. I didn't want to, like, saying goodbye. I just stayed there basically for her. It sounds bad, but it's a good thing, kind of. And we went to supermarket, me, my friend, and couple acquaintances, and someone asks, why do we go to supermarket? I thought you were gonna drive us home. And she says, well, we need to buy something. Basically, she needed to buy things home. She wanted to eat something home. And, well, there was something, and someone called me boring because I said something. And probably that person was joking. I mean, she was definitely joking. Like, that's kind of her type of humor or something. But it actually, like, I don't know how to explain it in English. Like, it hit the jackpot. I was so vulnerable about, like, being me. Like, being me, not trying to entertain someone or something. And then in the same evening, I tried to be me and I'm not trying so hard to fit in. Someone calls me boring, and I'm like, and the thing is, I'm gonna see these people pretty regularly for at least few months, And I'm like, what? And in that moment, I wanted to cry so bad, but then we went to the supermarket, and I'm like, okay, I just buy kombucha because those French fries make my tummy hurt. I'm just gonna buy kombucha and, like, get on with it, And then half of those people we have been in cafe with walk into the supermarket, and they all hang out and talk in supermarket for like 10 minutes, and I'm like, I just stand there like that with kombucha in my hand and just look at their circle in the supermarket, and I'm like, I just really want to go home. I just really want to go home. And in a few minutes I did. Kombucha was very nice though. And I got home. No, actually, the minute I got out of the car, I started crying. I mean, I cried in the car, but I tried not to show because there were other people in the car. The minute I got out of the car, I started crying because I felt like, black swan, like all are white swans, and I'm like, black swan. Oh my god, that is a terrible reference to the situation. I just feel like, basically, the town I live in is very small. I mean, not very small, but like not really huge. And whenever I'd go, I see at least one person, like, that I know. So I couldn't go outside and, like, go normally for a walk or sit somewhere or, like, where no one would come close to me. Any cafe I would go to, I would see someone I know, and I could never isolate properly beside being home. And since I'm an only child, I don't know if that's the reason, that because I'm an only child, but anytime I would have, like, company of friends, like huge companies of friends, I try to fit in. I try to be, you want me to drink and smoke? Sure, I'll start doing that. You want me to, I don't know, stop studying and learning and, like, because it's not cool. Okay, I'll stop. It's pretty easy to influence me, like it was when I was in middle school and in high school. It was so easy. In, like, whatever company of friends I would be, I'd be like, okay, they're so great. I would put them on a pedestal. And that is why I never felt like we were truly friends, because I put them on a pedestal because they were older or something like that. But mostly because they were older and they, like, lead this unhealthy lifestyle, and I would lead that unhealthy lifestyle with them. They would think of studying and learning as something nerds do. I would think that too. I would be like, why would anyone study? Why would anyone, like, oh my god, that's so stupid, And COVID happened. There was no one to influence me. Like, I was alone in my room. I don't have any siblings. Who would be there to entertain me? No one. Like, there's no one to influence me. There's no one to do anything. There's no one. And now it's with my own, like, on my own. And I'm like, okay, don't panic. What do I do now? I didn't have to fit in because I was literally the only person in my room. I didn't really I don't remember texting much during COVID. We texted at first, but I don't really remember. And I just started doing the things that I like. And then when COVID faded away, I started doing the things I like, and I didn't go out with my friends that often. And they were like, oh my god, you're so boring, you don't even go out anymore, what are you doing, what are you up to, like, why are you so, and I was studying, I was learning new language, this language that I speak right now, because it's not my first language, and I was doing so many things that make me happy. I painted, I read books, I became the nerd that they were, opposed of, that they despised or something like that. That person reads, oh my god, that they are so nerdy, and it was kind of like an insult or something. To the younger version of myself that was worried that I will become a nerd one day and that people will judge me, sad news, because I got this book, the psychology book, Big Ideas Explained, Simply Explained. When I got this book, I had the same reaction Rory had when Christopher gifted her the dictionary with all the words that English language includes, gifted edition. When I opened it, I'm like, oh my god, it's chronological order, oh my god, the pages are so nice, oh my god. In that moment, it was a few days ago, in that moment, I confirmed everything. I'm totally a nerd. There are 30 books somewhere there. There are 30 books or 20 or something that I have, and I enjoy reading. I will never fit in that crowd. I'm a nerd. How will I make fun of nerds if I'm a nerd, So I will never fit into that crowd. I know how bad unhealthy lifestyle is for you. I will never fit into that crowd again, And whatever crowd I was trying to fit in, into the crowd that I have currently, which I wouldn't call a crowd. I don't know. I don't feel like we're friends because we're not. It's just a proximity. If it wasn't for that, I don't think we would be friends. It's just a proximity and chance and something like that, Everyone of those people that I talked about, everyone in that group or something in that surrounding is a great person. But I'd rather one-to-one person deeply on very deep, get to know them, understand them, than to talk to 20 people about what emoji should a guy send and what does it mean. I'm not trying to shade anyone. I'm not trying to say oh, the topics you talk about are actually, pretty stupid. No, it's just a small talk. It drains my energy so much. I just really, if I'm gonna set out into the affirmation or something, I just really want to stop fitting in 2025. Just stop fitting in, please. Because when you do that, when I did that, when anyone does that, you're just trying to be like everyone else, and you're not. You're literally not. When there's a trend or something on the internet, people try to buy these things to dress a certain way, to act a certain way, just because it's cool. But the whole reason it became cool is because one person who was not afraid to show who they truly are behaved that way. For example, I don't know, they wore that outfit and it became popular. They weren't afraid of being themselves. The type of content is popular right now. Maybe those photos that slide, or maybe spent a day with me in my life, or something like that. Something very popular that a lot of people do. A person who first did it, maybe some people said to that person, oh, you cringe. That's, you're not fitting in. There is no content like this. What are you doing? This is stupid, But because that person wasn't afraid to try it and do it, there's other people who use that idea into their own lives, And I feel fitting in somewhere I mean, fitting in basically is you just shrink yourself in order to get somewhere. Like, this is me, but in order to fit somewhere, I'm like, I'll shrink. Or like, I'll shrink. I don't know how to, like, I don't know how to show it, you know? But basically, I'm shrinking myself, and I'm like, oh, I don't, I should not talk about the things I like because they do not like these things, and they will be bored, and just it's my main purpose to entertain them. And I don't really know where I got this idea that I need to entertain people. Like, do I look like a clown? Don't answer that. But where the heck did I get this idea that I have to entertain someone? And it's so deeply embedded in me that, I don't know, I feel so uncomfortable when I really try to have a conversation, when I try to fit in somewhere and I like joke or like do something and people do not laugh or like something like that, I don't understand why. Am I the only person who feels like I have to entertain someone? Like I have to make them be curious in a conversation or something like that? Or is it everyone? Or is it just me? When I do that, when I try to shrink myself in order to fit in, I kind of take parts of myself and I just throw them out. Like the part of me that likes reading because people generally do not like reading, I'm throw it away. The fact that I love studying, I'm gonna take it and throw it away because, well, not everyone loves studying, but people like gossiping, so I'm gonna take that part and put it in myself just because so people will find me interesting. Why should I care if you find me interesting? The person I should care about finding me interesting is me, because I'm going to spend the rest of my life with me. And this idea of this like paradox of like people around me, and I'm like, oh, I really need them to like me. That is literally just a paradox, because a year ago, I was surrounded by other people, like completely different people. I didn't know any of these people that I know now, and I care about their opinions so much. It gives me anxiety. I get anxious so much that I put a hand on my stomach and I can feel my heartbeat. Do you understand the amount of anxiety I have? I was trying to take a nap, and I was remembering yesterday, and it gave me so much anxiety that I could hear my heartbeat when my hand was on my stomach. Sometimes I can hear my heartbeat when I'm sleeping on the side and like through my eardrums. I asked ChatGPT what that means and if that's okay. He said it is. It's just anxiety. It gives me so much anxiety, and I just try to find validation. I don't even know why I try to find validation. I just try, and I even noticed it within myself, that when a person says, oh, like I've been invited to go somewhere, like a few people, like I was invited to come over to someone else's house, and there were other people, and the person told me, like one of those people that was invited told me that, oh my god, they're gonna be talking about this and this and that, and I don't really want to talk about it. And I'm like, yeah, same, I don't really want to talk about it, and well, do I really do not want to talk about it, or do I put that person on a pedestal? And I'm like, yeah, you do not want to talk about it? Yeah, me too, I do not want to talk about it. Or like, that scene where Alina in third season, when Caroline asks what dress is better for April, and Alina says blue, but then Damon comes in and she says red because Damon said red. I feel like that all the time when I try to fit in, when I try people to like me, but they don't like me. Like, even if they like me, when like me, they look at my picture and they're like, oh yeah, I like that person. You don't know me, because I, even unconsciously, I try to be someone else when I'm around different people. When I'm around people who I want them to know how smart I am, I'm gonna take some, phrases and from different languages and put them in my conversation. I will talk in statistic. I will use more advanced vocabulary and stuff like that, you know? It just happens. I don't know if that's unconsciously or definitely it's consciously, because I just basically named the things that I do. But, you know, when I around people who are younger than me, I try to talk about, I don't know, boys, fashion, about TikTok trend or something like that, you know? I try to have a lighthearted conversations. When I'm around people who I know will never have deep conversations with me, that there's something in them that they have no ability to have deep conversations, even though I've known them for a while, I'm like, well, what did you eat today? How was your sister? How was your brother? How was your, I don't know, husband? How was your kids? Or something like that, you know? I just no really deep conversation. When I'm with a person who I know I can have deep conversation, like, there's only one person I can have deep connection with. One person. Jesus is that person, but I'm talking about the person that, like, the person, my friend. I made that much more complicated than it is, but I did have to throw Jesus in there because anytime I have possibility or like opportunity to say it, oh well, I'll try, yeah. And yeah, basically I have one person with whom I feel like I could talk about anything. Talk about the boring books I read, about TV shows that I find exciting, about deep conversation, about my problems, about jokes, about, I don't know, fashion or something. You know, there's only one person and I love that person so much. And I don't know, I feel so comfortable with that person. And thank God, thank Lord I have this person and I met that person because I love her so much. But even with her, I try to fit in, you know, sometimes unconsciously, I think so. And I'm asking myself this question, how can I stop fitting in, you know? Because people will not know true me, like, even to extent. I don't think anyone could know true you, but like the truest me they can meet. How could they get to know real me if I always put on the mask? People always put on the mask, but you know what I mean, right? Oh my God, the things I say, they stopped making sense 18 years ago. No, 17. The minute I started talking, it stopped making sense. The conclusion is that we overestimate the importance of other people's opinions, and basically everyone will have their own opinion. Doesn't matter what you do, you know. You could be you could put on a mask, you could be the kinder, the most likable person, and the thing is, if everyone likes you, you're doing something entirely wrong, because everyone cannot like you. It means that you're wearing masks with different people and you're like, oh, you like smart people, I'm gonna be smart. You like stupid people, I'm gonna be stupid. You like people who do not care about their health, okay, I will be that person. You like the people who watch a lot of TV show or play video games, I'm gonna be that person, you know. And to everyone, you just put on a mask. And yeah, if everyone likes you, you're doing something horribly bad. So from now on, I'll try to be okay. I mean, I am okay with people not liking me. I feel you have to have courage to be disliked, because if you won't, you will never do anything. Literally, you will never do anything. I would never make this video, or the person that made this chair would never make this chair if they didn't have the courage to be disliked. Because, oh, what if people won't like this chair? What if people won't like this microphone, you know? Everything that surrounds you, people had the courage to be disliked. They did it because they had the courage to be disliked. And how many amazing things did people did? Oh, man. Yeah. I think that's all for this episode. Yeah. I don't really even think that's an episode, because I'm not gonna make a podcast out of it. I really not, because I talk nonsense. If you can relate, that's amazing. That's cool. Share your experience with me. That's amazing. Maybe something here helped you or something like that, you know, that's also amazing. But I just see like a TikTok in my mind where I say I will not make a podcast out of it, and then there's added to me where I did make a podcast out of it. But for now, I have no plans of doing a podcast. So bye, have a lovely day. And I have tradition on the channel to hug when I say goodbye, you know, kind of like a thing. So bye. Oh, that was my chair. That was literally my chair. Okay, bye. Love you. Take care of you. Take care of yourself.